Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon session. I'm Jesse Weber, and thanks for joining us. The jury in the Mark Gooch murder trial is currently on their lunch break, so we're going to go over more of that testimony later on in the hour. But right now, we need to start with the Zodiac killer. A group of investigators known as the Case Breakers have identified Gary Francis Post as the famed 1960s Riddling murderer. The Zodiac killer puzzled authorities with a number of coded letters sent to newspapers and law enforcement. And he's connected to 5 murders in the San Francisco area between 1968 and 1969, although in one letter, the Zodiac killer claimed to have murdered 37 people. As for Post, he painted homes for over 40 years and passed away in 2018. Last year, a team of code breakers deciphered a 340-character letter sent to the San Francisco Chronicle by the Zodiac. Let's actually take a listen to what they had to say.
In Sam's manipulation of the cipher, he reads through all the symbols in a diagonal direction, following this rule. First, start in the upper left corner, write out that symbol, move down 1, and then move over 2. Write out that symbol. Continue until you get to an edge. Then jump around to the opposite edge and keep going. Then you'll have a rewritten cipher that looks like this. So I put that first manipulated section of the cipher into AZ Decrypt, hoping it would solve it, but it didn't come up with anything useful. The phrases, "hope you are trying to catch me," and "gas chamber" didn't even appear again. But those phrases came up before, so I plugged those into AZ Decrypt using what's called a crib feature. Basically, you can lock in words at specific positions. Then the solver leaves those words alone while it searches for the rest of the key. So here goes. I clicked on Solve with Cribs, and boom, suddenly got a really clean message. And the phrase, "that wasn't me on the TV show," pops out.
Just shows me something I would never be able to figure out. All right, let's break this down. Joining me right now, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani is with us. Nima, it's great to have you here. I want to talk about the Zodiac development. I was astounded by it, but I'm a bit confused because we have this group who says they've identified after years the killer, you know, subject of movies, documentaries, everything. But the FBI hasn't done so. The FBI has said this is still an ongoing investigation. What is going on there? They're not confirming it.
They're not confirming that it's Post. Obviously, Jesse, I'm like you. I can't crack one of these riddles if my life depended on it, even on the back of a cereal box. But apparently, the case breakers have, and they've identified Post as an individual. And it's more than just this little riddle or the code that was sent to the San Francisco Chronicle. They have the scars, apparently, on Post's forehead that match the drawing of the Zodiac killer. And they've even gone so far as to interview Post's neighbor, who says that she believes that Post was the Zodiac killer. So they've done an outstanding job, and it's interesting. First, obviously, we dealt with Bob Durst after 40 years, and now more than 50 years, we're getting close to identifying the Zodiac killer. Obviously, he's passed, so if it is indeed Post, he's not going to face the same justice that Bob Durst did.
Yeah, and we know that he was this kind of painter, and there was a wristwatch with paint that was collected from one of the crime scenes. So you can see how it's adding up. I guess the question is, what happens next? You have this large group of investigators who have put in the time, the effort, the resources to identify him. The FBI, still not so sure. What are the next steps to 100% confirm it's him? And then if it is him, what happens next in terms of, understanding really his crime spree, and maybe is he responsible for more murders than we know about?
No question. As you mentioned, that Riverside crime scene was helpful with the wristwatch and spray paint. Shortly after Post had a military examination, and we know that Post was ex-military. So, but really, unfortunately, when a criminal defendant dies, even though in a case like this, FBI is going to continue the investigation, try to give the victims' families some sort of closure for the loss of their loved one. There's really not much that can happen in a legal proceeding. The case, essentially, the criminal side goes away. You can obviously pursue a civil case against Post's estate, if any, but unlikely he has any significant assets. So even though the law enforcement side will continue, the criminal prosecution won't, unfortunately.
Well, it's a fascinating update. I'm very curious to see if they make Zodiac 2. with Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr. We'll wait to see.
Hi, this is Dan Abrams with exciting news for all of our Law and Crime followers on YouTube. You can now get the live Law and Crime Network with YouTube TV for all of your daily live trial coverage, legal news, expert analysis, and original true crime programs. Subscribe to YouTube TV today and then locate Law and Crime in the channel guide. And for only $1.99 a month, you can add the network to your bundle. Watch Law and Crime every day with YouTube TV. We put you in the jury box.